Recording in progress.
Coach, you faced this team before this season, and you've had a couple of great performances containing Donovan Mitchell, and then you've had one where he got out and did what he usually does. What's the balance? What's the key to addressing him and keeping him from just having a night?
We just can't allow him to play comfortable. He's one of the top players in the NBA, top scorers, and we all know what he's capable of doing, but we have to bring a level of physicality when he has the ball, try to take the ball out of his hands as much as we can.
Your defense has been stellar since the All-Star break. You always talk about how that facilitates the offense. Today, Jackson was talking about one-on-one. He feels like his defense is really good, but in that pick-and-roll coverage, he wants to improve. How are y'all working with him? What do you want to see him improve on there?
Well, really, it just comes down to Jackson navigating, stopping the ball, or getting back to the big. It's something that he works on. But like he said, like he mentioned, he's a guy that can switch on the multiple opposing players and contain the dribbler. So he allows us to be versatile on the perimeter in that way. But he's improving. Our defense is improving, and we just got to continue to work on it.
You know what they want to do. They want to run. They want to go in the pick and roll, as you mentioned. They want to shoot threes, and they make a lot of threes. If they start to hit some, you have to guard against, though, trying to get into their type of game, because that's really not your game offensively, is shooting and making a bunch of threes. It's more of a mid-range.
Yeah, we want to contest their shots at a high level, but it all starts with our ability to contain them in their actions. A ton of pick and rolls. We have to make sure that we're taking care of the basketball on the offensive end, because it fuels their opportunities to get out in the break, and then they just all run to the three-point line, and Mitchell, Conley, those guys have it, and they're attacking and kicking out. So it really starts with that, and then if they just have it going, we have to make adjustments.
Some of those bench lineups you've been throwing out lately have got Jose and Devontae in there, just 2 point guards. Just what are you seeing with those two guys on the floor together, working together?
Well, I love Jose's ability to be able to guard point guards, and then Devontae just coming in the game and scoring, doing what he does, being a threat offensively, being aggressive defensively. But we feel like we can play those two guys together, and we don't lose much ground, and we'll see how it goes tonight.
Yeah, and connecting to Graf's question, just what kind of challenge do they present to a defense just with the volume of three-pointers they put up and just how many three-point threats they put on the court?
Well, they're a challenge to every team in the sense that they're one of the top scoring teams in the league, and they shoot the top 5 in three-point attempts and three-pointers made. They run a ton of pick and rolls, and they're efficient. And so, our goal mindset is to try to disrupt their patterns, so to speak. But it's easier said than done. We have to go out with that mentality that we just can't let them come in the game and play comfortable. So, it'll be a good test and good challenge for us tonight.
Willie, you guys are the #1 transition defense in the league, or 1 or 2 for this, by a good margin. What is it you've done so well in transition defense?
I think a big part of it is trying to take care of the basketball, #1, and then taking quality shots. And I think we've gotten better at that throughout the course of the season. And then one of our defensive pillars is sprint, turn, talk, which is our terminology for transition, getting back in transition, not guarding your man, but just matching up and then putting out the fire from there.
Since February 10th, you have the #2 offense in the league, and it defies some spacing rules that we've all been pounding into our head for the last 8 or 10 years in the NBA.
Yeah.
How have you been able to do it?
We're figuring out our team, and every team is different. You look at Cleveland, and they start 3 7-footers, and it works for them. We've had to make adjustments throughout the course of the season, and we're continually doing that. And so within that, you just try to find out who you are, what you want to do. Having Brandon and CJ allows us to be an efficient offensive team. We feel like Jackson Hayes at the 4. We're able to maximize him. And then the rest of the guys, Jonas and Herb Garden, and, kind of shrinking the rotation a bit. But we like some of the things that we're doing. We have a ton of room for improvement, but that's just the deal. Just keep working at it.
It's been less than a month since Jazz traded for Nikhil Alexander-Walker. I'm curious, you just don't know him that well, so what is he like kind of
Great human being, a great soul, great spirit, loves to be around his teammates, and just a good overall dude. The Jazz got a great high character kid that works his tail off and just wants to be great.
And then I just wanted to ask about his game too, where did you think he was when he left the Pelicans, and kind of where did you guys want to push him and develop him as a player?
I thought he was showing improvement every month. And really coming in, scoring, being efficient are things that we talked about, shooting quality shots. And then he really was starting to pick up making plays for his teammates. And that sacrifice on his behalf allowed him to be that much better. And, we wishing him all the best throughout his career, and we want to see him do well.
One more, if I may. The Jazz have the most efficient offense in the NBA. I'm not sure in a league with Hardens and others that people would think that about Utah. So when you prep for them, what do you see that leads them to be the number one offense in the NBA?
Number one, they don't make a ton of mistakes. They get the ball in Mitchell's hands and Conley's hands, and they set the table with their offense, with their actions. And you got Gobert and Whiteside setting screens and diving, and they got shooters everywhere. And they just don't make a ton of mistakes in those actions. And then you got Clarkson coming in off the bench, and guys understand their roles. And I think that's the key. They're well coached, they're disciplined, and in order to have an opportunity to win a game against these guys, you have to minimize your mistakes and be efficient in running what you have to run on offense. And it's just that simple. It's not easy to execute, but that's the mindset going in. Yeah, thank you.
Coach.